Friends, welcome you all. Now we are going to learn a very simple topic. We'll try to understand that how GST is actually tax on value adds. So in the process, we'll be learning that when a product moves from one point to another point, let us say product initially moves from the manufacturer, it goes to a dealer, dealer to a retailer, it moves in the value chain, is it not? Or maybe from manufacturer of raw material, then somebody purchases raw material, converts it into a finished goods. Then finished goods are sold to someone, maybe to a dealer. From dealer, it goes to a, let us say, wholesaler, maybe to retailer. So product always moves in this value chain. And in that chain, at every stage, we see there is a value addition to that. Is it not? Suppose raw materials are purchased at 1,000 rupees, and when they are converted into finished goods, it may be sold at 1,500 rupees. That means there is a value addition of 500 rupees, right? Okay, let us say a dealer purchases it at 1,500 rupees. He might be selling it, he might be doing some branding or something he does. He might be selling it, let us say, at 2,000 rupees. He's making another value addition of 500. Okay, from him, let us say another retailer purchases, he might be purchasing at 2,200 rupees. That means at every stage you see there is a value addition. Okay, and in under this GST mechanism, what exactly happens? The tax is levied on that value addition. How we can say that tax is levied only on the value addition? We are saying so because what exactly happening in GST mechanism? So we are paying tax on output supplies. Okay, suppose your output is sold for 1,000 and you will be paying GST 18%. That is how much? 180. Is it? So you are actually paying. But let us say your input is 500 and on input you have already an ITC of 9 rupees. Actually, what is 90 rupees? Okay, actually what is happening when you are discharging this liability, you are using this input tax credit. Is it? You are using it input tax credit. So even if your liability is 180, in cash you are paying 90 rupees. Why you are paying in tax and 90 rupees? Because what exactly happening? In the process, you have made a value addition of 500 worth goods, you are selling it 1,000 rupees. So there is a value addition of 500 rupees. On this 500 rupees, what happens? Tax is 90 rupees. So effectively, if you see, tax is paid only on value addition. Okay. Yes or no? Suppose it is not 500 rupees, it is 600. 600 rupees, what will be the ITC? What will be the tax payment? Who can tell me? It is not 90, it is 180. Oh, yeah, 108. Your tax liability is 160. At 160, you'll be adjusting 108. Is it 180 minus 108? So how much will you pay?
72.
How much?
72.
72. So you'll be paying actually 72 rupees. The 72 rupees, if you calculate, what is that 72? 72 actually, you have made a value addition of 400. Is it not? You have made a value addition of 400. On this 400, if you calculate 18%, then how much it is?
72.
72 rupees. So are you not paying only tax on value addition? Exactly, you are paying tax on value addition. So this is the concept. Okay, this is the very simple concept. At the very beginning, we have learned it. Okay, indirectly, I had told you that this is a value addition, and somehow we have understood that it is exactly a tax on value addition. But why now we are learning it in more detailed way is that we have to understand. Let us say when we are studying business, we need to understand. So like this product will move from one person to another person. Is it? For example, let us say raw material supplier, it goes to manufacturer. Okay, It may go to a dealer. It may go to a wholesaler. It may go to a retailer. Finally, it may go to a customer. Everyone is paying GST. Okay. Everyone, if he is eligible, he has to pay GST. And everyone has to take ITC also. But friends, it is not necessary that in all situations GST rate will be same, because various rates are available. Some cases 5%, some cases it might be 28%, some situation it might be 18%. It depends upon the types of supply. And some situation it might be exempt also. Is it not? So it's not necessary that GST rate will be same in all the products. We'll be learning about various tariff rates of GST subsequently. But right now you need to say that they are not same. Might be someone is acquiring it at 5%, but when he's paying it, GST it might be 18%. Okay, maybe so you are acquiring steel to manufacture a luxury car. You paid 18%. But when you finish product, it's taxable at 28% plus cess. Rates might be different. That possibility is there or not? What do you say? That situation may arise or not? We are simply purchasing steel from the market. Assume tax rate is 18%. But with that steel, you are making a luxury car. Okay, now tax rate is 25%, 28% plus cess. So at different stages in value addition, tax rates might be different. That point also you keep in the mind. Okay, and here also one more reason that why you are learning this, that we should be able to analyze in which that means in which part of the value chain gives maximum profit. That also we should know. Okay, that also we should know. So we should be able to analyze that. The objective of learning this concept today is that we should be able to calculate, we should be able to adjust it to credit and able to find out that actually GST is on value addition. And if that is so, then which part of value chain gives maximum profit, that also we should. Maybe in the group company, maybe different activities are there. So the company as a whole should know that this particular segment is giving me more profit. That also they should. Okay, so the objective is that. So let us learn that. First, let us start with a very simple example. Then we'll convert it into an Excel model. We'll see how to calculate and how it will be helping us in taking decisions. So let me share the screen with you right now. Now from this page itself, you can find out, or you can try to understand that this may be various parts of various segments in the value chain. Let's say manufacturer, warehouse owner, retailer, customer, etc. So goods might be moving from manufacturer to a warehouse to retailer to customer. This is just an example. It may move in different stages like this. So very simple analysis will make it. Let us say, just have a look at this table. Now we'll be talking about a product which moves from manufacturer to wholesaler to retailer to consumer. Okay, are you getting me? And we have taken the rate of GST is 18%. Here for simplification, we are not making CGST, SGST, IGST separately. We're taking only, let us say everything is IGST, 18%. Let us assume like that. Right? Now you have to answer. Let us say manufacturer is inputs base price. That means he's purchasing some input and the base price is 1800. How much will be the input GST? Please tell me quickly. This sale.
10 rupees.
18 rupees. Right? 18 rupees. Now he is making a value addition. He's converting something and value added is 50 rupees. And how much will be the sales base price? Base price sales.
168 rupees.
168.
68.
No, 168 you are saying including GST. Now forget about GST, only base price.
150.
150, right? Base price is 150. Okay, on 150, same rate of GST, let us assume 18%. What will be the output GST? Same 18%.
27 rupees.
27.
27 rupees. Good, 27 rupees. And tax credit, how much is available?
18 rupees, sir.
18 rupees available. How much GST is payable?
9 rupees.
9 rupees. Okay, 9 rupees GST is payable. Why 9 rupees is payable? Because value addition is 50 rupees. On 50 rupees, if you calculate 18%, to come 9 rupees. So finally, we are saying in all the situations, we'll be seeing the other situations also. GST is on value addition and you have to pay tax 9. Second situation you see. Now let us say per wholesaler. Let us say from manufacturer it is coming to wholesaler. For wholesaler, what will be the input base price? He is purchasing from manufacturer. What will be the input base price?
150.
150. Good. 150. On 150, he has paid GST also. How much input GST has paid?
27 rupees.
How much? Yeah,
27 rupees.
27 rupees he has paid. Fine. Okay. And let us say he is making a value addition of 100 rupees. That means 150 is going to become how much? Sales base price will be how much?
250.
250. Good. All of you, please move with me. 250. 250. On 250, what will be the output GST?
So 45.
47.
Very good. So now it is 45 rupees. And input credit available how much?
27.
27. Okay, tax credit 27. So how much he has to pay?
Sir, 18.
How much?
Sir, 18 rupees.
18. Okay, 18. So 18 rupees. Now you have understood 18 rupees he is paying because you see value addition is 100. So on 100, 18 rupees means 18% means 18 rupees. That's what he's paying. Now from wholesaler, let us say the same product is coming to a retailer or retail seller. For retail seller, what will be the base price?
250.
250. Okay, first we'll see 250. And what will be the GST on it?
45.
45. Okay, GST on it. And let us say he is making a value addition of 50 rupees. What will be the sales base price?
300.
How much? 300. 300. And how much GST has to pay on this supply, on this output supply?
54 rupees.
How much?
54.
54 rupees. And ITC available how much?
45.
45. How much he has to pay now on deposit?
9 rupees.
9 rupees. Why 9? Because again on 50 rupees, 18%. Okay. Now it will come from retail seller to consumer. Okay. Consumer, what will be his input base price? What price?
300.
How much?
300.
300. What is his input GST?
54.
54.
54. Okay.
54.
54. But he will not be able to avail ITC. Okay, because ultimate consumer under indirect tax system, what happens? Ultimately, the consumer who consumes it, he bears it. He bears the indirect tax. Okay, and he cannot transfer it further. Other people, they are transferred, they are able to avail the credit, and they will be ultimately they are paying tax only on the value addition. If they have made some value addition, they are paying GST on them. So effectively, you see GST is only on value addition. If you see, that is 9 rupees, 18 rupees, 9 rupees. Are if you see, these are the value additions and the taxes are. So this concept is very simple. I think all of you must have understood this. Okay, so hardly there is any difficulty. Now let us convert the same thing into an Excel file. Same concept, for simple thing. Then we'll see what will happen if the rates are different in different situations. Okay, who will be gainer? That is what we are going to see. Okay, are you ready with me? Can you open Excel file? Or let me do one thing. Let me first show you an Excel file. You understand it. Then after that, we'll be doing it together. Okay, first all of you, please watch. Just give me 1 second. Are you able to see the Excel file? Yes or no? Okay. Now, friends, what we are going to do, please watch it carefully. First you watch it, then we will be again developing a business model. First we'll see, assume that these rates are same. And example is like that. There is a fabric manufacturer. He sells the fabric. And these fabrics are purchased by a shirt manufacturer. Shirt manufacturer produces shirt. He sends it to a garment company. Okay, garment company, maybe he does some branding, maybe it does some packing also. Then he sells it to a dealer, and the dealer is now selling it to a shopping mall, and shopping mall is selling it to a customer. Okay, so this is the value chain, and in every part of the value chain there is some value adds. For simplification, first what I am doing, I am assuming GST rate is always same, 18%, 18%, 18%, 18%, 18% same. Okay, now let us understand the situation. Then we'll say next stage what we'll do, we'll change the rates. Latter part you can see I'm changing the rate somewhere 5, 18, 12, 22. You will see. Then we'll see how it affects the profitability. Okay, friends, are you with me? Let us start to understand. Now you see, fabric manufacturer. Let us say he has got input, taxable input value. We'll say it is 5,000. Okay, how much will be GST on that? How much will be the GST?
900.
Yeah, let me delete all these things. So GST rate will be, you see, I'm simply now putting the formula. This, sorry. $900. Okay, and let us say assume that value addition is 3,000. Okay, now what will be the taxable output value? Can you tell me?
500 plus 3,000. Sorry, 5,000 plus 3,000 equals 8,000.
So you'll be also making it like this in your Excel file. 5,000 was the input value, plus you have made a value addition of 3,000. So totally it become 8,000. Okay, right. This part is fine. Now let us say how much will be the GST on output. This is the output value. So on this GST rate we have assumed 18%. But in real life it might be different. Input value might be taxed at a different rate, output value might be taxed at a different rate. We'll be saying that. But now if you take it as same, then GST on output will be this 8,000 into 18%. Okay, it comes to 1440. And how much ITC is available? 1440 you have understood? And how much ITC is available?
900.
900.
I will link it equal to 900. Okay. Now GST payable is how much? 1,450. That's 1,440 minus 900, 550. What is payable through gas? Okay, right. What is the price? Consumer's price? Can you tell me?
$8,540.
8,540. So what? 8,000?
540.
Okay. So how you calculate that?
Taxable output value plus GST payable.
Okay. Taxable output value is 8,000. Okay. But how much customer will pay? Whether customer will pay, you are paying 540 because you have ITC of 900. But the question is that how much customer will pay?
Sir,
9,440.
Yes. So customer will pay, you see, customer's price will be this plus entire GST. Is it not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Understood. Okay. Now
Yes,
this is
yes.
what customer is going to pay 9. But actually we are depositing price 540 because value addition is 3,000 or 3,000. We are paying 18%. So 540 we are paying. Right. Now you see how much profit is earned in this kind of situation. Can you see it? How to calculate profit? Can you calculate profit in this situation? Here the formula I am saying. At what price it is sold? Base price if you take, it is sold at
8,000.
8,000. Okay, you sold at 8,000, and of course you collected GST and you paid the GST also. Okay, so in addition to that, you collected GST. How much GST you have collected? 8,000 plus 1440. Totally 9,440 you have collected. Okay, out of this 9,440, how much you actually paid?
540.
500. 5,000 first of all you pay for taxable input, sorry, further material to the fabric manufacturer, right? Then what you paid? You also paid GST on that. So 5,000 plus 900 also you paid. Yes or no? Plus you also paid tax on value addition. That is 540. So let me explain you once again. How much is your profit? Now tell me in this situation how you will be calculating your profit. Total, how much you got from the customer? This much or not? This much money has come to you. Yes or no? Are you with me? 9,440 you have received. Out of that, what you have done? Minus 5,000 you have paid on. Yes, you have paid. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Further, this 900 you have paid or not? Tell me. Tell me whether you have paid or not. Are you getting me? Or you are finding it complex? Friends, 900 also you have paid. So I am deducting this. Then again, what else you have paid? Can you tell me? Plus here 540 rupees also you paid. If you deduct all these things, finally you will see you will getting a profit of 3,000 rupees. Once again, try to understand. When you sold the customer, you got 9,440. Out of which your base price of input was 5,000. GST you have paid 900. And 900 is credit utilized, but in addition, you have to pay 540. So totally you have to pay or fund your net profit will be 9,440 minus 5,000 minus 900 minus 540. Are you getting it? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Right. Now, if you calculate your profit percentage, you see the 3,000 you have got, and your base sales value is this is the 8,000. So on 8,000, you got 3,000 profit, and profit comes to 38% in this situation. Okay. Now you see, next is the SAT manufacturer. SAT manufacturer is purchasing it at the base value of 8,000 because your sales base value is 8,000. Yes, please. Tell me.
Sir, can you please define about the profit percentage?
Okay, profit percentage, you see, normally how you'll be calculating profit? Suppose someone
Sir,
is asking
profit
you,
like cost price into 100.
okay, there are two ways of calculating profit as a percentage. One is on the basis of cost, or second is on the basis of sales. But normally in finance, when you say the profit, normally we link it to the sales. If this is my sales, what is my profit? On sales value, profit is normally calculated. Okay, so profitability ratio is calculated on sales, and profit is also calculated on sales normally. But what you are saying, that is also right. It can be calculated on cost also. And here we have taken it on sales. If this is my sales and this is my profit. So on that basis, if you see, now you see, are you able to get it? Are you able to get the point? Now you see, my sales value is how much? 800, and profit is how much? 3,000. So I can say equal to 3,000 divided by 8,000. It comes to 38%. If I'm converting the sales into percentage, then I will get 38%. If you want, you can calculate in that cost also. Cost means what you will do? Cost means how will be calculating? Who can tell me?
So
Let us say,
3,000 divided by 5,000.
no. Let us say this is a profit on sales. Let us say, let us say it is profit on sales. Suppose you want to know what is the profit on, just a minute. You want to know what is profit on cost. Profit on cost, let us say you want to compare that thing also. No, over you can do that thing also. But what is my profit? All of you agree that profit is how much? Where is my profit? Profit is 3,000. But what is my cost? Cost is not only material. I have made a value addition also. Is it not? I might have converted into something, and there is a value addition. So ideally, so what I can do, divided by okay, this plus what is the value addition? 3,000. Are you getting it? Now, if I convert it into percentage, it will be almost similar for both the things, I think. Okay. Are you getting it? Because we are saying the entire value addition is that you have incurred some cost. But if you assume some other thing, that entire value addition is not the cost. That means in the value addition, what I'm saying, there is some cost, there is some profit also. Then this ratio will be higher. Profit and cost will be higher. Okay, so in order to avoid that confusion, what we are doing, we are calculating profit and sales. Or if you say, let us say, if you assume that cost means only 5,000, this value addition is only your markup, Then what we'll do, instead of adding that thing, adding F5 cell, I will say profit is divided by base cost only. Now it will come to 60%. Okay. When I'm adding this 8,000, I am feeling that I have purchased this thing, but I have got a manufacturing cost of 8,000. So 5,000 or 8,000, my total cost is 5,000 plus 8,000. With that assumption, the earlier calculation was okay. But if I assume that I purchased 5,000, there is no manufacturing cost, then again it will come 60% as we have calculated right now. Did you understand this concept?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, suppose the cost of the value addition would have been 2,500.
Right.
Sir, then what would be the total cost for the profit on cost?
Suppose this value addition I have taken 3,000. Let us say 3,000 has got two components. Okay, two components means there is actually manufacturing cost of 2,500 and 500 rupees is your margin, it's your markup. You are selling it at that price. Then what will do? 5,000 plus 2,500. That will be the denominator. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So depending upon the facts, we might have to modify the formula. Are you getting it? So for simplification, normally whenever we talk about the profitability or we calculate profitability ratio, normally it is expressed as a percentage of sales price as a percentage of turnover. If you say company is making this is the profit percentage of this company, that means what? How we are calculating? It's a percentage on the sales. Okay, so on same logic, so we'll be using that formula. We'll be calculating profit as a percentage on sales. Okay, so if you calculate it, it's 37.5%, or if you round it off, 38%. Now, from fabric manufacturer, it comes to a shirt manufacturer. Shirt manufacturer's purchasing base value is 8,000. He will paying
Excuse
GST.
me, sir.
Yeah, tell me now.
The screen is not visible.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, is it clear to you now? Now you see. Now second step for 8,000. All of you please watch it carefully. You have to do a model in similar line and with little more complexity to that. Now you see shirt manufacturer. Shirt manufacturer, how much GST he will be paying? 8,000 into 18%. Is it not? So 1,440. Same, because what the fabric manufacturer is charging, he's paying is that same amount. Now value addition is 2,000. And how much will be the taxable output value? How much?
10,000.
8,000 plus
10,000.
2,000. You can say it is 10,000. It is at 10,000. And GST and output will be, now you can easily calculate 1,800 because 10,000 into 18%. Okay. Okay, this much of GST is payable. But how much? ITC is available 1,440. 1,440 is available on input. So GST payable is 360. Right. So what is the customer's price? 11,800. Because customer will pay 10,000 plus 1,800, 11,800. Okay, how much is the profit? 11,800. You got it? Okay, now once again let me calculate. Total amount you got 11,800 minus you have paid how much? 18,000. Sorry, 8,000. Okay, you have also paid 1,440. Okay, then you have also paid How much? 360.
GST payable.
360. Okay. Now if you calculate, so 2000 is your profit, it is 20%. Okay. Are you getting it? And here we are assuming this value addition is only a markup. There is no cost here. You have not paid anything. Okay. If you feel there is a cost, then that also can be deducted. But in all the cases, we are assuming there is only a markup. So profit is 20%. So if you compare these two, the manufacturer is making a profit of 37%. SAT, a fabric manufacturer, SAT manufacturer is making a profit of 20%. Now, garment company will buy it at 10,000. So a similar way, if you see, he will be paying GST 1,800. His output value will be 10,000 in plus 1,800, become 11,500. On that, GST will be 18%, 2,070. ITC will be available 1,800. GST payable is 270 only, 2070 minus 1,800, 270. Okay, price for the customer, how much customer will pay? Customer will pay 11,500 plus 2070. This will be the value of the shaft. Okay, profit on the same line you can calculate, it will be 1,500. Now you see profit has been reduced to 13%. Okay. Now it will go to a dealer. Dealer will be purchasing at base price 11,500. This is the base price. GST will pay 2070, which was charged. Value addition will make 300 rupees. Output value will be 11,800. 11,800. On that, GST will be 2124. ITC will be this amount, 2070. Tax payable is 54. Customer's price will be 13,924. That is 11,800 plus 212. There will be a profit of 300. On same logic, total money received is this much, 13,924. Money paid is 11,500 minus 2070 minus 2. Okay, so 300 is the profit. It comes to 3%. From where shopping mall is purchasing. Shopping mall is making a 11,800. On that GST input, on that he'll be paying 2124, which was charged by charged by dealer. And taxable output value will be how much? 11,800 plus 500, 12,300. And now GST payable will be 2,214, of which 2,124 is the input tax credit. So 90 rupees will be payable. Customer's price will be 14,514. Profit will be 500 rupees, which turns out to be 4%. Finally, customer will get it as 12,300. Base price. Customer will get it at 12,300 base price. Okay, plus GST has to pay. Is it not? If you pay GST, how much it will become? Another 2,000. So it will become, finally, you will see at 14,515, customer will be getting. value addition is nil, output value will be 14,500. Did you understand this example? Yes or no? Did you understand this calculation? We'll be doing it, don't worry. Just I wanted to show it first time. So this gives us an idea that it's not necessary that at each stage value additions will be same. That's not necessary. And who is making more profit, who is making less profit, that also we need to know. If you understand, if you want to analyze the value chain, we need to know where profit is maximized so that more attention can be paid in that particular area. Right. So if you see here, where you can see maximum profit. So where you are getting maximum profit? Can you tell me?
Fabric manufacturer.
Fabric manufacturer. Okay. So one may think of that, you see, instead of selling it at shopping mall, etc., it is better to directly manufacture fabric, or at least sell it to the shirt manufacturer. So why to do all these things? Profit margin is very, very less. Is it not? Is it going to help us in decision making? Do you think it will be helping us in decision making? If you can make this analysis. Yes or no? What do you feel? Will it be useful?
As the chain of suppliers increases, the value, the profit margin also decreases at the same proportion.
Yeah, a little louder, please.
Sir, as the number of intermediaries increases, the profit margin also simultaneously decreases.
Yeah, maybe, may not be also. Sometimes what happens, a particular stage you see. Let us say you are purchasing, someone is purchasing something. Another agency is just doing branding and it is almost making a substantial value addition by that. So at that stage, you will find profit margin will be more. Then one may think, instead of manufacturing, let us purchase something, do the branding, because branding is maximizing the value. That possibility is also there. Okay, so this, what I showed you is just an example. And that too, in this example, what has happened? GST rate has assumed same. If you make it little complex means, let us say what we are going to do, or maybe in the next session you will be doing with me. Situation is like this. Let me show that this is the situation which we'll be practicing here. Here what I am doing, let us try to understand it in a better way. Here I have taken fabric manufacturer pays GST only at 5%. Shirt manufacturer pays 18%. Garment manufacturer pays 12%. Dealer is paying 28%. Shopping mall pays 18%. Customer pays 18%. Okay. Now if you see where profit margin is more, and now you can find it situation is different. Are you getting it here or not? Here also profit on sale, profit on cost, both the things are there. Are you seeing a different picture now? Okay, so these are only examples. So it depends. So every business model, so we need to find out. So if our business involves all these activities or some similar activities like this, so we need to, as a finance person, we need to have an idea that what impact GST is having on our profitability. The process is very simple. One can do it. One can very easily understand it. So let us see this example. So next class again, we'll be repeating that thing. But still, I would like to show you at this class itself. Here I have taken various columns. If you see it, input GST rate. Here I have changed These are various stages, same 6 stages. Fabric manufacturer to shirt manufacturer to garment company to dealer to shopping mall, finally to customer. Input GST rate is this. First, I have assumed my taxable input value is 20,000. So GST on input, you can multiply 5,000 with that, become 1,000. Okay, value addition, I have taken it to 1,000. So output value is 21,000, 20 plus 1,000. Let us say output GST is 18%. So GST on that will be 3,780. ITC is 1,000, finally 1,780 has to be paid. Customer's price I have not calculated, but profit is there, we can find it out. Okay, what will the customer price? We can calculate it. Customer price will be, this is the output value, plus this is the GST. Profit percentage, if you calculate, it comes to 4.76%. Okay, how 4.76%? Because profit, which is 1,000, first let me see how profit is calculated. Tell me how profit is, how we'll be calculating profit 1,000. You see, total, how much you got from customer? Let us say 24,780. Minus input value, this much you have paid. Minus GST also you have paid. Minus what you paid. How much you have paid? GST payable, this much also you paid, 2,780. If you calculate, it comes to 1,000. Are you getting how profit is calculated? And you can also calculate this profit on this customer price also, including sales. That also you can. We have calculated on the base price. You can also calculate this thing if you want. But all calculations should be uniform. If you are taking this as denominator, everywhere it should be that amount. Are you getting it? Now, if this is the base price, shirt manufacturer will buy it at 21,000. GST 3,780. Value addition another 2,000. Output value is 23,000. Now GST rate is different. Here it is becoming 12%. This is the GST value. GST payable, this one. And he is having more ITC. So this much will remain as its asset to be utilized in future. Some businesses, they may not be use it at all because the input credit is more than the output liability. Okay, so that possibility is also there in some businesses. One has to keep in mind input liability is more, output liability is less. So naturally, or maybe output is exempt. In that case, input credit cannot be utilized. So this situation will be there. That will be also affecting the profit. Okay. Similarly, we can move to next is garment manufacturer. Rates are different. Input values will be different. Okay, and profitability will be different. Are you able to understand this concept? Okay, next class, what I will expect that we'll be doing it in the class itself. So all of you, please be ready. We'll be opening an Excel file. All of you will be doing it. So in that sheet, what we're doing the various models. So we have to update that. Okay. Up to this, have you understood? Or any query you have? Truly, GST is on value addition. So that we have already understood. We have verified that GST is actually paid on value addition. But since rates are different at different stages and the value addition amount might be different, the profitability might be varying from stage to stage. That this was our understanding for today. Is it clear to you? Yes or no? Tell me quickly. Okay, you can unmute and speak. Is it clear?